Hi, I'm Bob Parsons, Executive Chairman and founder of GoDaddy.com. November the 10th marks the 237th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. For the past 8 years, GoDaddy has produced an annual birthday salute to the Corps. This year, we're going to do more. We're partnering with the Semper Fund to raise money to help critically ill and injured members of all of our armed forces and their families. Here's how you can help. Visit GoDaddy.com, make a donation. No amount is too small, and we'll match up to $1 million. Happy birthday, Mother Green. Happy Veterans Day, and thanks to everyone who has, does now, and will serve in our armed forces. We owe you everything. Now please enjoy our salute to the United States Marine Corps' 237th birthday. Semper Fi.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Get the rockets ready, the bombs busting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the free? You're the home of the brave.
everybody. Thank you for coming out today. We've got news for you on a couple of fronts.
It's always exciting when Bob has that look in his eye.
Yeah. First of all, you know, you've seen our GoDaddy's Marine Corps birthday tribute to the United States Marine Corps. This is the 8th year that we've done that, but this is the first year that we decided to do more and attach fundraising to it. And we believe that we're going to take fundraising for the Semper Fi Fund to a whole new level. GoDaddy and the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation have teamed up to match all donations that are made through this card, through the GoDaddy website, up to $1 million. So hopefully we'll raise $2 million for the Semper Fi Fund. Now, this is just in time for U.S. Marine Corps birthday. It's their 237th birthday, and that is on Saturday, November the 10th. The following day, November the 11th, is Veterans Day. So you know, that's why we're doing this now. The Semper Fi Fund, for those of you who may not know, is a nonprofit organization that provides financial support to injured and critically ill members of all armed forces. And if you want to really get a feel for what they do and how important their services are, visit semperfifund.org. Many of the servicemen that they help out are critically wounded. I mean, can you imagine one day you're normal and the next day you're a triple amputee? Well, that sort of thing happens on a regular basis in a war zone. And what we found is that if we can get the family to those individuals that are wounded like that, and we can do it quickly, as well as other servicemen who have had similar injuries, so they can talk to those individuals that have been hurt in that way, that the ability to turn things around and to recover accelerates tremendously. So that's what this is all about. Couldn't be a better cause. As part of the team effort between Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation and GoDaddy, as I mentioned, we're going to match all donations up to $1 million. There's 2 ways to participate. One, you can donate directly at GoDaddy.com by clicking on our 8th annual Marine Corps birthday salute, or you can go to GoDaddy's if you make a purchase and do the Roundup for Charity program. And basically what that is if your purchase may end in 39 cents, you round up to the next dollar and we will match that. As a U.S. Marine and who served in Vietnam and a founder of companies who proudly hire military veterans, I can tell you we owe everything to our men and women in uniform who've served in our armed forces in the past, now, and in the future. So if you could donate. If you can donate, I urge you to do so. No amount is too small. Everything helps, and we really hope we're going to reach our goal of $1 million, and then we'll match $1 million and be $2 million. Every organization has a strong leader, and the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation is no exception. It's not me. My wife, Renee Parsons, the most important part of the foundation. Renee?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. As Bob mentioned, the veterans are such a worthy cause and such an important group of people that we just had to help and wanted to help. At the Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation, we work to inspire hope for people needing critical funding at critical needs, and that's what our foundation is striving to do to make a difference for those groups that are needing it. Our men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces are making the ultimate sacrifice. Our veterans were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. And we believe our fellow Americans will join us in helping make a difference for the Semper Fi Fund and all of the servicemen who have served. We've created simple options, like Bob said, for the public to help. And as he said, every penny counts. So we hope for your support and are very, very proud to be affiliated and partner with the Semper Fi Fund.
Now, with us today, we're very fortunate to have the founder and CEO of the Semper Fi Fund, Karen Gunther. Karen's over there by the car.
Thank you, Bob. And we're thrilled to be here, and we just are so blessed for Bob and Renee's support, GoDaddy, and the Parsons Foundation to join our mission of serving those who preserve our freedom. We are passionately dedicated to this, and we're thrilled for the NASCAR fans to see our logo on the car is just absolutely amazing. And we're just very blessed to have you help us bring this mission to people across the world. And we're just indebted. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. We really appreciate you and your team traveling all the way over to Arizona. We also have a number of GoDaddy employees who have proudly served in the U.S. military. If I could see you from here, I would ask you to stand. But I know you're here, and I want you to know that I thank you so much. And for those of you who served in Vietnam, like Rick has here, welcome home. Now, we're also proud to have support from two of the biggest stars in NASCAR, starting with our very own GoDaddy girl, Danica Patrick, who, by the way, has been in more Super Bowl commercials than any other celebrity.
Well, thanks,
Danica.
Bob. That's because of you and your big ideas and your great ideas and creating such a successful company as GoDaddy is. So thank you for that title, I guess. I kind of don't really deserve it. You do. So I think it's amazing what you do charitably, both you and Renee. This is a wonderful cause, and you know, to be donating to match up to $1 million of donations is well, that's huge. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. I'm going to be driving both the 10 Cup car out at Phoenix and the 7 Nationwide car, both GoDaddy cars, this weekend, and we're going to run the Semper Fi Fund hood on both cars to bring more awareness to the foundation and to raise more money. So, of course, we just really hope that as many people as possible goes to GoDaddy.com to make those donations and do something really good for the people that help us live free and do the things that we want to do here in this great country. So, as you can see, we have the beautiful 10 car just sitting right there.
All right. Yeah, it is. It sure is good looking. And
green.
Huh?
And green.
And green, yeah. Yeah. Also with us is Tony Stewart. Tony?
Thank you, Bob. It's good to be here with you guys, and I appreciate you not making me wear the orange high heels like Danica wore. I don't think I could have stayed up on my feet with them. But no, it's truly an honor to be here and be a part of this. It's such a great cause, and NASCAR fans are truly passionate about any cause that the drivers or teams or sponsors get behind. So I think we'll get a great response and great support from the NASCAR community. But it's, you know, I've been associated obviously with the U.S. Army the last 3 years, and I've got to see a lot of these veterans and spend time with them and hear their stories, and what you guys are doing is greatly appreciated, and something that I don't think our nation realizes how necessary it is. So because of Renee's vision and GoDaddy, we're very, very proud to be a part of this with you, and on behalf of Danica and myself and everybody at Stewart Haas Racing, we want to donate $50,000. So we want to do our part.
Thank you so much. Well, we're $50,000 closer. All right. It leaves me speechless. Thank you so much. Also with us today, we have a very special guest, GoDaddy customer, a representative who helps support a very important mission. His organization website supports veterans. Rick Romley is here representing veteransheritage.org. He's a special advisor for this great organization. He's also a veteran injured in Vietnam. You may recognize him as our former Maricopa County attorney. Rick, thanks for being here.
We should have stopped after Tony's comments. Trust me. First of all, Bob, welcome home. You know, as a fellow Marine, I appreciate your service as well, and just welcome home. But I've got to personally thank you and Renee and the GoDaddy Foundation, or GoDaddy, for inviting me here today to represent the Arizona Veterans Heritage Project. For those of you that don't know about the Arizona Veterans Heritage Project, it is affiliated with the Library of Congress, and its primary focus is to bring students together with veterans to listen to the veteran story, memorialize it, and place it within the Library of Congress, so we do not forget the sacrifices and the service that these individuals have given. You know, having been a severely wounded Marine in Vietnam, I understand what these funds do for those individuals. It makes all the difference in the world during one of the most difficult times in a soldier's life. Huge difference. And I cannot thank GoDaddy and the Parsons Foundation for stepping up and giving this matching contribution up to $1 million to the Semper Fi Fund. It is a worthwhile fund. It is a respectful fund that does so much good for all of our service individuals. So I think I can conclude this by saying I thank Bob and Renee and GoDaddy once again. They epitomize organizations and foundations that do support our military and all of those that have given so much for our country. So thank you for inviting me here. It's a true honor.
It's a pleasure having you here, Rick. All right, now, before we open it up to questions, we do have a tradition that we want to share with you, and that's the GoDaddy Cash Machine for Charity. We've had a lot of drivers in the cash machine, and I think it'd be kind of cool to see what Tony Stewart can do. So, who do we have here to
I'm right here, Bob.
guide Tony to the cash machine?
Hey, everybody. I'm Corey Blanchett. I run the awards and incentives programs for GoDaddy. Not only do we use our money machine, our GoDaddy cash machine, to award our employees in our 4 call center locations on a regular basis with cash awards, of which we pay the taxes for, but we also have a tradition of putting all of our race car drivers in the money machine as well and seeing how well they can do. So in that spirit, we want to invite them up here.
Is this going to be like a magic act? I might disappear once I get in here?
Perhaps. First, we're going to have you put on this apron.
Hot. That's what you've been missing. The ladies love it.
And go ahead and tie that behind you. I'm going to go ahead and set this for about 10 seconds in just a moment. What were you going to say, Bob?
Give him the high heels. Did you get the size 12?
Hey, Danica's a sport. She's done it in high heels more than once.
That's what us GoDaddy girls do.
All right, we're going to do 20 seconds. You all set? Here we go. Great job.
Keeping it up in the bottom.
Bottom. That's right. I just thought of.
All right, let's see how he did. All right, let's come over here and let's drop everything into here.
Normally, I'm really good about not dropping money around at the shop, so I don't know.
Especially difficult if there's $2 bills in there, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and count up this money. And Bob, I have still not counted cash in Vegas since the first time. What we got here?
Many people find it difficult to get change for a GoDaddy $13 bill. We usually wind up giving them a 6 and a 7.
You gonna sit there and count all that like that quickly? Accountant by trade. It looked like a lot.
That's the shortest 20 seconds of my life.
All right, let's see how we did here. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, or 120, my bad. 130, 140,
I think it was
150,
1,030.
160. That is 140, so that is 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome, $308.
All right.
That exceeds the average winnings from a C3 employee here at GoDaddy, a call center employee here at GoDaddy. So great job.
Thanks, guys. Before we open things up to questions, I do have one important announcement to make, and that is that I am very pleased to announce that Danica Patrick will appear in both of GoDaddy's Super Bowl commercials this year.
Both? We're gonna make that record pretty tough to beat, aren't we? The amount of times.
That's two 30-second spots, slots 2B and the one just before the 2-minute warning. And it will be Danica's 9th consecutive year. So congratulations, Danica.
Thank you. I'm always so honored to be in the commercials. I feel like we've made a lot of people laugh. We've made a lot of people smile. We've had a lot of fun with them, and it's completely my honor. So thank you very much. I am excited to do them, and I'm going to start doing sit-ups right now.
All right. Okay, well, I would, with that in mind, Al, do we have the photo op now, or do we open it up for questions? Let's open it up for questions. All right.
Okay, so if anyone has a question, let me know. I can hand them the mic. Okay. I have a couple questions here from social media. One of these is the question is, Danica, did you get your toughness from your dad? You seem to take after him.
Yeah, I am definitely a lot like my dad. For those who knew me growing up, he has more of a temper than I do, so I guess in comparison I feel calm, but it's definitely where I get it, the fire, the passion, the you know, all those things that make me feisty and fiery. But you know, I think it's a good thing. I think it's important to have that kind of fire, so it definitely comes from my dad.
Okay, great. One more, and this is for Danica and Tony. What are some of your favorite mobile apps or web pages that you guys use?
Do you have one of those phones with the? Do you have one of those touchy phones?
No, you got to remember, I'm from Southern Indiana. We're still
flip?
using a can
Still-
and string. So.
Plugs into the car. How about
Well,
the
yeah.
car jack ones? Remember those? My dad had that too. Go ahead.
To be honest, you know, I follow a lot of different racing series, so there's not one particular, but you know, because of our affiliation with the United States Auto Club and the World of Outlaws and different series across the country. That's something that we very much stay active on, mainly on the weekends. Believe it or not, it's everybody thinks that we're really busy on the weekends, and we are during the day. But at night, it's not uncommon to see us glued to the computer in the evening, trying to follow what our different race cars are doing across the country.
You know, I think obviously Twitter is a big app for sure to keep up on the social media front. I was thinking as I saw some of you on your phones that that's why you didn't have any questions yet, because you were tweeting away, hopefully. So, but I also use Yelp a lot. So that's probably my other, and maps, because I like to see where I'm going, know where I'm going. It's very helpful.
It always
I
helps.
know I wasn't asked the question, but
Anything
my
else?
favorite app is GoDaddy Mobile.
Well played.
GoDaddy Mobile.
Hey guys, nowadays we live in a world where a lot of kids are growing up and war is on the news every day. Soldiers are on the news every day. You worried that maybe we're growing up becoming complacent and it's an everyday thing and we might forget the whole reason behind the men and women who wear these uniforms?
Who's the question for?
That's what anyone who wants to answer.
And the question was, are we concerned that it may become complacent?
Once upon a time, like when I was a kid, it was rare to talk about war and men and women wearing uniforms. And, you know, when my father was in the Air Force, you know, it was during Vietnam, nobody wanted to talk to him or about him. But nowadays, it's, you know, every day. You worried that, you know, we're becoming used to it.
I'll take a stab at it just from my own personal perspective. You know, Bob and I come from an era of the Vietnam conflict, the war during that time, and we came home to a nation that had seen a lot of the war on TV, and I believe it neglected some of the Vietnam veterans that came home. But I think we learned a lesson from that. And I must tell you that, for example, the Semper Fi Fund, and I can name a dozen other organizations that are really trying not to forget those that have given so much. So I'm not as worried as some might suspect. I think that this nation went through a time where it was not the very best moment in American history to those combat veterans that were coming out of Vietnam, and we learned a lesson. And that's why you have volunteers, you know, you have so many different organizations that are really trying very hard to help those that come home so that we understand that their sacrifice will not be forgotten. And I will tell you, many of the veterans that work for GoDaddy, and there's a lot of them, we're not going to let that happen. So I'm not too worried about it.
I think to add to what Rick's saying, that just from our experiences of being with NASCAR, and NASCAR always takes a trip to Walter Reed Hospital every year, and I think it's very, very hard for our society and our citizens to realize the effect that this war has had on so many of these servicemen and women that you know, fight to protect our rights, to let us do what we do every weekend with NASCAR, and you know, to see these men and women and to hear their stories. It's something that you don't see it on TV. You don't read about it in the newspapers or on the internet. It's you know, I think there's a lot of opportunities that if more of our citizens could meet these men and women that have served for us and spend an hour with someone that's had to go through these battles and had to go through the healing process of their wounds. I think it would be something that our society is a very giving society, and Bob and Renee's foundation is proof of that. But I think if everybody had time to spend 1 hour with a soldier and hear their stories and what they have done and what they've had to go through and their sacrifices for this nation, I think that you would see even more support for these men and women, and something that I encourage everybody, that if they get a chance to support any organization that deals with the military, to you know, to feel not necessarily obligated, but I think it's something that if these people could get involved and just see a little bit of it, I think it would make them want to be even more involved.
This question's for Danica.
Well done.
Bob cleared up the big question about the Super Bowl ads, but as you make the move to Sprint Cup full-time next year, have you guys discussed your future relationship and where GoDaddy plays a role in that?
On the side of the car. I don't know if you want to start it and you want me to finish that?
I didn't even hear the question, Danica.
Go ahead and ask it again so that we
Yeah,
can
Bob
hear.
and Danica, just the future moving on, the partnership between you two as Danica makes the jump to Sprint Cup full-time.
Okay, well, we stay with Danica when she makes the jump to Sprint Cup full-time? Is that the question?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, and then elaborate a little more on your future plans together.
Well, you know, we have been partners with Danica for well over 9 years now. And I can tell you that whenever I ride a motorcycle a lot, and you know I stop for gas a lot, and gas stations are a wonderful place because a real eclectic cross section of people. Everybody's there, and I'll sometimes just start asking people questions. I mean, I know some of them maybe worry a little bit when I do that, but you know, I'll say, hey, do you ever hear of a company called GoDaddy.com? And quite often the person will say, yeah, Danica Patrick. And then other times I'll say, do you know who Danica Patrick is? She'd go, yeah, GoDaddy. So, I mean, GoDaddy and Danica, we're a team. And we've been a team for a long time. I would think it'd be very difficult to try to figure out who is benefiting more from our relationship. I would think maybe GoDaddy has a little bit more than Danica has, but
Very kind of you.
in any case, I think it's been a true partnership. So I don't see that ending anytime soon.
Well, that's very flattering. Thank you. I definitely feel like the big beneficiary in the deal, and I feel fortunate that you incorporate me into your plan with your company and your branding and how you advertise. I feel like the fortunate one. So I don't know, I guess we're both winning if we both think that we're benefiting the most. So I've enjoyed every single thing I've ever done with you guys. It's been incredibly fun, and I especially enjoy you know, some of the transitions we've done into doing more charitable things, having the breast cancer awareness car a few weeks ago at Charlotte and things like that. Those are wonderful things, and you guys are incredibly giving, and I think it's important that people that know that about you and how generous you are and selfless. So I've enjoyed everything. I'm proud to be a part of it, and I love GoDaddy too. And so whatever you need, Bob, I'm your girl.
And then, Danica, looking at the races this weekend, I think we ask you this every year, but just, is it an advantage for you or the emotions driving here in Phoenix?
I think somebody asked me earlier today, I was at the track shooting something earlier today, and they said, is it an advantage being local to go to the track? And I said no. And then they said, well, is it a disadvantage to be local? So I don't think there really is anything to that. Unfortunately, in NASCAR, there's a lot of restrictions on testing, and we can't test at tracks that we're going to race on. So for me, the benefit is being near GoDaddy and being able to be close to them when they need me for something, to shoot things. We were just shooting in this very studio for the last 2 days for print and on-camera things for moving forward into next year. So for me, that's the biggest benefit about being here. And the weather.
David Newton, ESPN.com. Bob, was there ever any doubt that Danica would be in the Super Bowl commercials? And have you given any thought to having maybe Tony in one of the commercials wearing high heels?
Well, you know, high heels would be part of it, but, you know, we're trying to figure out what color wig we would want to put on him, an eyeliner. Oh, boy.
I'm pushing for blonde.
That Danica would be in our commercials? No, not in my mind.
The Bob Hocker Sporting News, kind of along those lines. And did you tell the agency you wanted her in the commercials, or did they come back to you and say, yes, we'll put her in the commercials?
You know, it was always fairly understood that Danica would, you know, she's our spokesperson, has been in our successful advertising, Super Bowl advertising for the past 8 years. So it only follows that if something works 8 years in a row, There's a good chance it'd work maybe the 9th year. So, yeah.
I'm Barbara Hatch from the Veterans Heritage Project, and I want to thank you for supporting veterans. We got to meet the Semper Fi guys, and I had 3 students here today, and we've interviewed about 550 veterans, and in the country, Veterans History Project has archived well over 90,000 American veterans. So when the lady asked about forgetting, I think it's important that the young people sit with the veteran, like Donna's son interviewed Rick, and I think it transformed his life. So I had a veteran speaking when I was over here from Iraqi Freedom, and he said that your interview, not me, but my student with him, saved his life because he got to share. So I want to thank Renee and Bob for taking care of these wonderful warriors. My kids get it. They get it. And thank you guys, and thank you guys for Vietnam. And our book this year is a salute to the Marine Corps, so that's very appropriate. So, hoo-ah!
Okay, thank you. We're closing the Q&A now. So thank you.
Picture time?
All right, okay.
Okay.
So now photo ops and individual interviews. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.